Welcome to Like Mother, Like Murder. I am Rachel.
And I'm Heather.
We bring you the good,
The badass,
and the crime.
This is Like Mother, Like Murder.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Like Mother, Like Murder.
Hi, everybody.
Today, we have a special guest joining us on the mic because life has been lifing, and Heather is working. She's been working hard, and she had to travel for work as well. So, therefore, today will be a little different. I'm going to miss her, but I'm excited because we've never missed a week, and we prefer it that way. So, we have a fill-in today, and that person is...
Your favorite bean.
My favorite bean. My boyfriend, Joel, is in studio today.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Say something awesome to all the people.
I don't know. Excited to be here. I'm kind of nervous.
He's excited to be here and he's nervous. It's okay. He's not nervous to be on the mic. He's nervous to be sitting this close to me as he chugs his beer. I do want to start by saying if you guys are here for our coverage on missing moms, murder survivors, all of our regular content, today is not for you. So check back in next week when Heather will be back and we will be covering one of the most known and disturbing unsolved cases as our Halloween bonus episode.
Ooh, I'm excited.
I'm trying to remember if I dropped what we were doing on last week's episode. You know what we're doing because I've told you.
No, I don't.
I thought I told you.
No.
You guys, he doesn't listen. This is going to be a great episode.
You're not going to know, and it's just like free women.
No, I know you're not going to know this episode, but I thought I told you what I'm doing for our Halloween episode.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. He's back, guys. He's here with us.
Sorry.
Anyways, so if you love being here, you love us, you're going to love this. We are going to have a deep dive in a completely different way today. So stick around for that. But first, I have 20 questions for Joel to start this episode. I'm just joking. I definitely do not have 20 questions.
Made me think.
I know. He's like, please stop, you guys. He's a little nervous. It's all right. My brother is staying with us right now. As many of you guys know, because I've talked about it, my family, my parents and my brother moved recently. They get their keys this week. There's so many amazing things happening. And one of the amazing things that happened tonight is Weston made us drinks. And I think I'm going to let Joel talk about the drinks.
It's amazing. It's he made us a margarita. It's super salty and delicious. And I'm drinking it right now.
Ooh, he's shaking it. He's doing some margarita ASMR for the mic right now.
Yeah. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers, everybody. It is delicious. Here, cheers me.
Oh.
Is this the first in-studio cheers we're doing right now?
Cheers.
No, it's not, because Heather and I had one in-person recording before.
Sorry, Heather.
It is good. Thank you to my brother. He's right here listening because he doesn't want to leave. He just wants to stay. He might as well pull up a chair. Before we start, we must know a little bit more. So here is the backstory. And I am one of the main characters.
Oh, snap.
2020 was a year that changed the lives of many. Our world as we knew it shifted in many ways as the pandemic took over, causing a plethora of things from sicknesses to chaos and mass panic. This year looked different for every single person. Some lost jobs while others worked the most they ever had. Schools were closed for in-school learning and went to virtual, causing people to become an overnight homeschool. You weren't supposed to leave your house unless you were masked and symptom-free. Hugs and human touch became an uncommon occurrence, and toilet paper, for a very short amount of time, became the hottest commodity you could buy.
Hell yeah.
This is the most generic overview of this time that I could possibly have given because, like I said, this time was different for every single person. Everyone was affected in their own way, and everyone has their own takeaway from this time, good or bad. In a very short and summed up version of my own recollection of this time, personally, I changed. I went through a breakup. 30-year-old Rachel and daughter moved back in with her parents and brother, who's sitting over there listening. and tried to get back on her feet as it seemed the world was collapsing around her. The more we were told to stay inside, the more I felt the need to be outside. I was one of the many quote unquote essential workers and continued to work my postal route day in and day out because the mail never stops. The amount of stupid I dealt with at the time was unbearable as I would walk the route and had people waiting for me at the mailbox telling me they're home because they had COVID. And yet they were out greeting me at their mailbox. People sat in lawn chairs waiting for their government checks to show up. And if I didn't have it with me that day, I was harassed, followed, screamed at. And when I would try to go to the local business to go to the bathroom because I worked in a mail truck, I was denied entry because they were no longer open to the public. I threatened to pee on the steps, but never actually did it. Everyone in my house sat together and played games and watched TV, which was something I absolutely loved most of the time. But I was sick of it. I was sick of TV. I was sick of people talking. I was sick of people in general. No offense to my family. I love you. Weston. Just kidding. He went downstairs finally. So the point I'm trying to get to is that in this very moment, after working a 14-hour shift, coming home to the TV blaring because what else was there to do, check in with my daughter's homeschooling that my mother so wonderfully and heroically stepped up to help with, I decided I would rather live outside in a tree than be stuck in home any longer. It was implausible for me as a single mother to up and leave my current reality, go live in a tree and get off grid. I commend anyone who did this. But with all of that said, I was ready for a change. So I left every single second that I could. I took my daughter with me every chance I was able to, and sometimes my parents helped with her as I scaled the side of mountains and walked among the trees. Sundays became my day of peace, of finding the beauty in the days that most people were sitting around hating. Don't get me wrong, I hated most of those days, but not when I was out in the open air. As I walked, climbed, drove, sweat, panted, I fell in love with my environment. I fell in love with the stillness that was early mornings before the rest of the world would awoke. I fell in love with hearing nothing but birds and wind as I looked over the city lights from afar. I fell in love with the feeling of being alone and not needing anyone or anything to make me happy. I fell in love with me. Let me tell you what a beautiful moment that was. Geez, I'm never going to get to the point of this episode. He's over it. He's like, shut the fuck up. As I grew in this way of being unapologetically happy in my own skin, one of my best friends told me to try a dating app. What in the world? I thought I would never. After a failed marriage, dating an absolute piece of garbage, the last thing that I needed was to date someone. So alongside one of my best friends, we downloaded some of the dating apps and started swiping. Let me tell you something. The comedy show that is dating apps is unreal. And the humor from my own experience, I can only say I am thankful for because as I finally lead into today's episode, some people are not so lucky. Some people do not get to walk away with a laugh or even a forced date that leads to a whole new life. The stories that some people go through are horrific.
I didn't force you to date me.
Not you. You didn't force me. You guys, I'm forced here. Someone come save me. I need help.
Get in my minivan.
I didn't think he was actually listening. Oh, yeah, we'll get to the minivan. Just wait for it. Today, I will be reading you some wild dating app horror stories that I found on Reddit.
Fancy.
For today's guest episode with my dating app boyfriend. Okay.
What?
So, and the reason that I decided to say any of this on this specific episode is because October 30th, 2020, I went on a date with someone I met on Bumble. I kind of didn't want to. He knows that. But he just said, I didn't force you. We had talked on Bumble for a while. And I felt like I had already kind of fallen for him in a way. Corny as fuck, I know. But there were some other stipulations along with just meeting him. He was going to be leaving for Italy for a year. And then he told me he was going to be moving to Kentucky. Was I insane to even entertain this relationship? But he kind of seemed like my person. My friends encouraged me to just follow my feelings. They kind of forced me to say yes to him. And long story long, I've lived in Kentucky almost 3 years now.
Yeah.
My story is different. I could be a walking, talking success story ad for Bumble. With that said, Bumble, if you want to sponsor this episode or this podcast, please shout out to me. But the thing is, others have not been that fortunate. So Joel, my love, thank you so much for filling in today for today's episode. We're going to get into it, I swear. I know you're ready. This is all about bad dates off of Reddit.
Oh, shit. People dated off of Reddit?
No, but their stories. Yeah.
Oh, that's
Reddit,
the worst place.
Reddit, the new dating app.
It's not. Don't do that.
They went there to complain about their dates. Oh, I did say I was going to mention the band. Do you want to talk about the band? Really quickly, you can.
I love that band.
Go ahead, tell me about it.
Oh, man. So they convinced her to meet me.
Yes,
and
they
she
did.
met me in front of her house in my minivan.
Yes.
And I had a case of beer.
Well, he kind of like made it work because I forget exactly at the moment.
I made it work because she came out without her glasses and she came out without shoes on.
So I couldn't see him and I couldn't run away if I wanted to. It was a problem. This is like what you shouldn't do. I am the bad date. Actually, the end. Episode over. Did I try to race you that night? I tried to race you. Yeah.
No, that was a couple later nights.
Oh, we dated in the minivan a lot, guys.
Yeah.
He wasn't allowed in my house because COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we drink a lot of beers in the street.
Not.
A lot of beers.
A lot. Okay. So to start the episode, I am actually going to read a few things that I found that are some of the creepiest things said to people. And I want to say none of this episode is anything that's going to, there's no trigger warnings. There's nothing awful. This is going to be just a light, good time tonight. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's why I said, if you guys, if this is not your thing, bye. I'll see you next week. That's fine. But actually stay because you have to, because Joel's here.
Seriously. Accept the risk.
We're going to accept the risk tonight. So I'm going to read a few quotes. I have like 6 or 7 of things that I found on Reddit of people that when they were dating, someone said this to them. And then I want to know, I feel like I want to know what you would do.
Lick my toes.
No.
Red flag, motherfucker. Sorry, Jake.
That is a red banner. What do you mean red flag? That is just lick my toes. Okay, so. This is real.
Okay, sorry.
The quote is, "You've actually been talking to my mother. I'm not very good at things like this." And then the person says, "We had sexted." It was the girl and the mom was texting for her son.
Could have been worse. Could have been the dad.
You would try to make it okay. It's not okay. None of that is okay. Okay.
Sorry.
Friend told me the guy not only asked for a selfie, but posted on Facebook with the caption, "My queen," after the first time meeting. Did you do that to me? Did you post "My queen" after meeting me in the minivan that day?
No, I didn't.
That's disrespectful.
It is kind of. But I did take it out the next day.
You did. Went on a Tinder date to the movies when I was 18. He picked me up in his truck and played terrible, loud, depressing music. In the theater, he was on his phone swiping on Tinder the whole time, then leaned over and told me that I was lucky to be out with him because all these other girls wanted to be with him. Yikes. My roommate picked me up when I excused myself to the bathroom.
Yeah, fuck that, dude. No way. That's just weird. And he's swiping. He's not even having chicks yet.
He's not even having them. He's just swiping. They didn't accept shit.
Like, all these chicks want me. Totally swiping right. Yeah. It doesn't work.
That is so... I feel like...
She did the right thing.
I would probably laugh so hard and be like, this is just...
Oh, buy me popcorn, punk, and then leave.
Buy me... Actually, I want some popcorn now.
Damn. I don't have any for
We
you.
should get some
Do
popcorn.
we?
No,
No.
not made. I need my dad.
You can't really eat popcorn in podcasts and be like,
Yeah, no, thank you. Okay, listen. I told this guy I played the piano. This one's fucked up. I told this guy I played the piano. And like a half hour into the date, he said, if I wanted you to always remember me, I'd break your fingers, because they don't heal well. And then you'd always think of me when you're playing.
Yeah, fuck that. What?
What in the world is wrong with people?
I have no clue.
What a sick, demented
I don't
shithead.
get that kind of humor. And I know that's like, I guess that's a thing now to have sick humor. I mean,
I don't know.
I can deal with some funny stuff, but that's not funny at all.
I was going to say, like, I can absolutely, like, it's probably a problem, but my humor can be very dark at times. That is just like,
that's a no.
Yeah,
sorry.
What?
We're like, yeah, bye.
Yeah, she ended up
Sorry,
leaving.
Terry.
She left very quickly. Sorry, Terry. Mid-date, he placed his hand on my stomach and said, my son will grow here.
Ew. Oh God. Grow like a water plant.
What do you mean?
Sprout roots.
Babies grow in the tummy. They grow. But still, you don't say that on a first date to someone that you just met. That's so weird.
That is weird.
If you did that, I would have karate chopped you.
Yeah, you would have.
I mean, like, what you mean? No, it won't.
And try to run away from my van.
With my no shoes.
No glasses, no shoes. Run to the wrong house.
I hope you guys are having fun with this episode so far, because we are.
That douchebag neighbor you had. Fuck that guy.
Oh, yeah, that guy was so weird.
That guy was fucking...
I forgot all about that.
Dude. Ah.
Oh, tell everyone about that.
Oh, man, so... Oh, God. It was our normal COVID date, right? We're hanging out, drinking beers, and then some dude just on my side of the car, because I'm on the driver's side of the vehicle, just started knocking on the window. I'm like, can I help you? And he's just like, what did he say?
He didn't even start knocking.
He's telling
this.
Me.
Yeah, I was going to say.
He was just staring at me.
Stared
so I'm like,
a while.
can I help you? He's like, you need to move your car. I'm like, who are you? He's like, oh, I'm like, I live here. I'm like, so does she.
Yeah, she lives here too.
And he just stayed there, and he was just like, you got to leave. I'm like, I ain't fucking leaving, dude. So then he was just staring at me like a good solid 5 seconds, just staring.
Stared.
So then I opened my car door, and I'm just like, can I help you? He's like, my daughter can see you guys. I'm like, we're literally just sitting in the car, dude. And he stared at me as I'm like standing in front of him, waiting for him to do something.
Yeah.
And then he just like, I told him like, all right, I'll move the car, because we're literally in between the houses, and they share a driveway. So I'm like, okay, I'll move the car 5 feet forward, and I did. And he went inside. But didn't he go to jail like shortly after?
Yeah, he did go to jail, but also you did not move the car. You stayed there, because if you moved the car, we wouldn't be here. I would have never moved to Kentucky if you moved the car.
Yeah, you fucking bitch.
Yeah, I was like, absolutely not.
Sorry.
Absolutely not. Also, I was going to say this is a perfect time to say I hired him to see how much of a man you were.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
I almost did get stabbed for you. Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
That guy is
I didn't know
nuts.
that dude.
Didn't he like push her over the banister?
What?
Yeah, didn't he like push the girl? Like it was a domestic violence thing that he went to friggin' jail for.
I don't know your damn neighbor. I don't know.
Me neither. I just hired him. I don't know. I'm going to have to look into him.
Did his kids like sneak out and like smoke weed in his truck?
Every single day.
That shit was dope. I like pull up super late. He'd be like, and they're just smoking. I'm like, oh, these guys are so fun. That's when he was in jail. Yeah, I remember now.
Yeah, it's all coming back.
Good times.
All right, I think I have one more. No, I have two more for you.
2 more.
Within knowing each other about an hour, he told me he never wanted kids before, but the moment we met, he felt it biologically. Then he told me he told me he wanted to be my stepson's father as well.
Ew. Yeah, no. Sorry, it was
that's like too
a worker
aggressive.
like,
yeah, like back
time
off.
To mate. Like,
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, you never wanted kids, but all of a sudden, absolutely not.
My caveman just came out.
Well,
Like, need to procreate.
No, it's all bad. Okay, the last one. This one's morbid as hell. I want you, this is a quote.
Okay.
I want you to carve your initials on my thigh with a knife.
She
A
showed
girl
up and then
said
left.
that.
Oh, a girl said that?
A girl said that
Oh,
to the
that's
guy.
even crazier than
Yeah.
a dude.
Well, and with that said, I actually brought a knife to the recording so that you could carve your initials into my thigh right now.
Hey, I got a knife too.
No, I'm kidding. Put it away.
It's not out. I always have a pocket knife. All right.
Stop. Okay. So that was just a little. So I wanted to do that to ease Joel into the recording because I knew he was nervous and I thought that would be a little icebreaker. Now for the bulk of it. Now I'm going to be reading some actual like horror dating stories of people that get into some details of things that they went through when it comes to online dating and meeting people for the first time in the shit that they went through.
And it is scary. Like, and you took a chance, especially meeting
Someone
a
in
dude
minivan.
in a minivan
Yeah.
with full of beer, and you still came out and hung out. Like a lot of people don't have success stories,
Right. And that's why
a lot of people aren't
Bumble to sponsor.
Joel. So
I know. They're not as lucky as me.
these dudes drive minivans, want to have some
You guys.
some good times and meet cool people, and it was awesome. How long did we do that for?
Like a month.
No,
What?
we did that
3 months?
3 months because then I deployed.
You were allowed in my house like the second or third month. You guys, we're not joking. When we are explaining to you right now that we stayed in my front yard until like, I mean, I went to his place sometimes, but like whenever he came to me after work, we were outside. We were never allowed inside. And then finally he was allowed inside. And I felt like it was even more awkward. And you met my dad in the COVID line. We were all getting like swabbed.
I did. Right.
I forgot about that.
I'm Rachel's dad. Hi. Let's get swabbed together. Sir.
This is so awkward.
No, man.
We're going to move on with this.
Love that dude.
With this episode. He's nicer in person.
Oh, he's a sweetheart.
When you first like meet him.
Oh, when you meet him, when you see him, he's just like, he's looking over his glasses at me. I'm like, whoa.
Terrifying.
And he walks up. I'm like, this guy's about to deck me. Because I had you and Kenzie.
Yeah.
And we're all getting swabbed.
Right.
And he's just like, I'm Mike. I'm Rachel's dad. I'm like, hi.
Is that my dad's voice?
No.
What are you doing? Take another drink.
No, but he's super, super nice. He just looks like he kicked my ass. He probably could.
That dude's tough.
He is tough.
Human Wolverine right there.
Human Wolverine. That's a whole nother podcast.
Episode. Exactly. Yeah. That's the podcast we're going to start together.
Yeah.
Human
Stories
Wolverine.
on my dad.
Oh.
No. Stories of my dad.
All right. Are you ready?
Yeah.
We need to get into this. I have like 20 stories for you. So the first story I'm going to be reading to you from Reddit is by user Snack Burrows. Snack Burrows. Burros.
Bruce?
No, not Bruce.
Oh.
Burrows.
Oh, burros. Snack burros.
Yeah, but then I said burros.
Oh, okay.
Come on now.
Sorry.
Bros.
Bros.
Bruce. Noggin. Okay. On OkCupid, summer 2006, I met a girl in West Hollywood, and we went to dinner. She turned out to be way bigger than her pictures. Insanely rich, was Ozzy Osbourne's cardiologist's daughter, or some shit like that, and had a nasty coke habit. The whole date, she was doing cocaine in the bathroom and barely ate her food. And then afterwards, we went back to her place, where she visibly spiked my drink with a Mickey, and then asked me to tie her up, and then refusing to allow me to drive my car out of her garage, leaving me to wait in my car all night until the morning, when I followed someone out. She called 3 days later to say that I caused her miscarriage, and I didn't know she was pregnant.
So he tied her up and he stayed?
I don't know if he actually ended up doing it.
Tied that bitch up and left. Sorry, Terry.
To get away. That's what
Yeah,
you mean.
to get away.
To get away.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
yeah. If it's that bad,
Yeah.
sorry. And it sounded like she wasn't letting him leave.
I know. That's crazy.
Like,
So
hot time. Huh. And then,
went on a first date with someone a few months ago. Off to a bad start. We met at a restaurant, and while waiting for our table, he struck up a conversation with one of the band members. He obviously knew him and kept yapping until we were seated. He did not introduce me, which was awkward. The band member came over to our table to talk with him 2 more times through the date, and I was finally introduced half-heartedly the 3rd time. He spent the next half hour bragging about how much money his family had, and the rest of the time would not shut up about his music career and recording in Nashville. Even called himself a B-list musician with only a couple hundred monthly listeners on Spotify. After dinner, he struck up a conversation with the very pretty blonde bartender for like 5 minutes. He did not introduce me either. He gave me one compliment the entire night, which was, and I quote, "Sorry, that's my voice for him. Sorry, this may be the musician in me, but I love the way your hair blows in the wind." Wasn't sure how to respond to that. It was a comically horrible date. He also insisted on kissing me afterwards, which was not cool.
Remind me of the 80s.
What?
You get a hairband, you know?
Oh. Yeah, I was like, okay, so a couple things that I needed to say. First of all, if I'm out and people come up, I feel like, I don't know, like, do I need to be introduced to every single person? Maybe not, but if you're sitting there talking to this person for
Depends.
a while,
Yeah.
Like if it's just like a quick, hey, how's it going? No, I don't need to be introduced.
Yeah,
but
like,
if you're
what's up,
sitting there
bro? Yeah.
talking,
Later. Yes,
at least acknowledge that I'm fucking sitting here.
Correct. If it's a conversation, definitely be like, oh yeah, by the way, this is, this is Rachel. Hey, nice to meet you. Yeah, this is my buddy. That'd be.
So if we were out on our second minivan date and someone pulled up that you knew and randomly just like pulled up in their minivan and said hi, and then I really should have ran for the hills.
My minivan, bro.
Like, you would have to introduce me.
Like,
but how would you say
this is
it?
Gerald. This is my minivan, bro.
Okay,
hey,
but like, how
Gerald,
would you have introduced me as like just a like Bumble girl that you met?
I would just said your name. Like, hey, this is Rachel.
Okay, that's so nice.
Yeah, like
you wouldn't have said, "This is my queen."
I mean, I'm still in a minivan. You haven't bought me anything. What do you mean?
Shit, that's so crazy.
I'm the peasant. You're the queen.
And I'm supposed to buy you stuff?
Yeah.
Damn it. It's a little backwards.
What?
I don't have a job.
Then I wouldn't call you my queen.
Yes, you would.
I guess I would.
The amount of comments you're going to get right now.
It's all good.
Oh, I can't wait till you listen to this episode.
Yeah.
Okay. It's only going to get worse from here, you guys. Okay. It was an almost date. Oh, I forgot to say who this was from. This is from HWATSHYUKMIN.
Are these people writing to you?
No.
Oh, I was like, oh, man, now I feel bad for not talking shit.
No, we don't know them. It's fine.
Oh, yeah, fuck these people. Your problem.
That's so rude. Don't be so crazy.
Yeah,
Okay.
sorry.
It was an almost date. I sort of canceled at the last second, even though I would never normally do something like that. I chatted with this great guy for a good week. Let's call him Phil. He was the same age as me and lived a good 20 minutes away from me. Phil and I texted almost every hour, always a message back and forth. Then we continued chatting on WhatsApp, but I then noticed a few things that bothered me. Phil was annoyed when I couldn't get to my phone while I was at work. I work in a factory, so it's not that easy. I can answer my phone once after 4 hours, that's it. He didn't seem to like the reasoning, but he didn't elaborate. He then suggested that we meet once. I said, with pleasure, because I liked him. We took a walk by the pond. We wanted to meet there on a Wednesday. Tuesday night, Phil texted me, hey, what cup size do you actually have? And I was, of course, shocked and confused and said, hey, sorry, I don't feel comfortable writing that like that. And then he replied, I see. I'll find out anyway. I was shocked by this news and also a little scared. Wednesday morning, I then canceled the date. I just felt too uncomfortable.
Yeah, that's creepy. I would cancel that too.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, which there's not much detail, but it doesn't sound like she was flirting.
Yeah, it's really hard when you don't have the entire context behind, but also it's no one's place to say, hey, what cup size are you?
Yeah, I mean, I doubt that they, like, she met him once around the pond, the duck park or whatever. And so, yeah, that's just weird. That's good on her.
No, they didn't even end up meeting because they were going to meet there on the Wednesday.
What?
So I know it says we took a walk by the pond. We wanted to meet there on a Wednesday. Tuesday night, Phil had said that to her. So they never even actually met in person because she canceled. Am I understanding it wrong?
Yeah.
Okay.
So they did take the walk. And they were supposed to meet. What the fuck?
No. He suggested that they took the walk by the pond. We wanted to meet there on a Wednesday. Tuesday night, the night before, he had said that.
Yeah.
He had said, hey, what cup size do you actually
That
have?
dude's freaking weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
So
People
she canceled.
are
Good for
just
you
dumb.
canceling
Yeah, cancel
HWATSHYUKMIN.
That guy's a weirdo. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know what he was trying to get out of that, but like, if he wasn't like at least a couple dates in, like at least some more flirtatious conversation, that maybe would have been acceptable if that was your style, but
No.
definitely not.
Don't ask that. Don't listen to Joel right now. Don't ask that.
I mean, if it's your style, what is that? That's
Douchebag style? Red flaggery style? Like, that's not anyone's style.
What some people are just like weird about talking shit. I don't know. So if he would have said that and she would have went back with it, then I'm pretty sure he was expecting it's either going to be a hit or miss.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay, well, it was a miss. He missed.
Yes, miss. Good on her. You guys are weird.
CHIAMMMMY. A lot of these come from OkCupid. Were you ever on OkCupid?
No.
OkCupid.
I'm trying to read the name.
Chiami. Chiami. You said, I don't know why that sounded like a Pokemon to me. 90s girl. During uni, this guy from nearby uni asked me out on a date. We met via a dating app. He said to go for McDonald's and then go for a walk later. I will usually agree with the dinner location the guy chooses unless there's something I really want to eat. At McDonald's, we sat at the second floor and he told me to go buy my food. I asked him if he would like me to buy for him too, and he said no. It's peak hour and the queue is so long, but he didn't want me to buy the food for him. So I went downstairs and bought my food and came back up. When I sat down, he said he was going to go and get his food now. So out of common courtesy, I had to wait until my food turned cold when he came back with his food. And McDonald's fries aren't it cold.
No, they're not.
No, they're not. He was very quiet throughout the meal, so I made conversation with him, but every conversation went back to his ex. He said that when he and his ex eat together, they're both quiet, and he has learned to enjoy the silence. It proceeded to when he and his ex dates, watches movies, walks, have sex, all is in silence, so he has learned to enjoy the silence. Since he wanted to talk about his ex and how perfect she is, I also decided to talk about my ex. Halfway through the conversation, he said that he thinks I have a mental problem and offers to bring me to see a psychiatrist together. I was like, huh? I said, no, I don't think I have a mental problem. He insisted that I have a mental problem and wants to accompany me to see a psychiatrist to get some help. This conversation was out of the blue and I was really surprised. I told him nicely to stop it and he wouldn't stop. So I stood up and told him off and walked off. The whole McDonald's level 2 was in silence when I left. He chased me to the MRT station and said, hey, and her name, whatever her name is. 90s girl. Shall we go home together? I was
What an
like,
idiot.
no thanks, and left. Fast forward a few months, he will call me randomly using new numbers and will switch to video call and flash me.
Sounds about right. What a loser.
What a loser.
Yeah, no. No bueno.
No bueno. That it just ain't it. There's so many things in that are just red
Wrong.
flags.
Yeah. I mean, like, order your food together. Pay for her first meal. At least, dudes. You know, something. And, like, have a conversation.
Yeah, have a conversation not about your ex on the first date.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah. If you're not ready, then don't.
Huh?
Like, don't date if you're not ready to not talk about your
Oh,
ex.
yeah.
That's all you got. Then just stay
Yeah.
home, dude.
Stay home, please. And then also, I'm sorry, if someone called me and flashed me over the phone, you know how quickly I would screenshot that shit and show it to the world? I'm just kidding. I would never do that. But that's like where my head goes. So don't do it.
No, I won't.
So don't do it. Like how I'm like telling you, but like I know. I know. All right, next one.
Teak
This
seat.
This one's long.
Teak sight?
Teeksy Teeksy Teeksyt.
Teak sight.
No, because the T is capital, so it's separate.
I guess. Yeah, she has a point.
I have a point because I am me. Why do people's username on Reddit, like, why are they all so stupid?
I don't know.
Like, why isn't it just
and
name?
then it was probably like, oh, this is badass. And like, to me, it's like, teak sight.
Matched with a gorgeous woman, and we got to chatting straight away. We had great convo and no trouble genuinely making each other laugh. She was very responsive and seemed super interested. So was I. So unsurprisingly, plans for a date quickly ensued. Did you write this about me?
Yes, I did.
So far, so good. This was just after the last round of lockdowns had ended where I live. You needed to book just about everywhere, and places were being strict about charging for canceled bookings and allotting 2-hour table time limits. Took the risk and booked for drinks. I showed up on time. Waiter takes me to the table. Oh, I remember this story. It's crazy.
Is it?
It's just like, it's one of those ones where it's like, what the fuck? Like, people are crazy. Some people are freaking nuts. Okay. This is not us, by the way. You didn't write this about me.
Damn.
Now I know you didn't write this about me because I remember what it is. Okay. I show up on time. Waiter takes me to the table. I order a drink and chill, thinking she's going to be a little late based on the last text exchange. 15 minutes in, I get a text saying that she's struggling to find parking. Not a problem. No stress. See you when you get here. I respond. 15 minutes later, the follow-up, I'm just around the corner text lands. At this stage, I finished the drink I ordered, and the waiter keeps coming around, reminding me I've got limited time on the booking and asking if I wanted another drink or to order food. I turn down the drink, not wanting to be half cut if my date shows, and don't order food either. Waiter looks very annoyed. I'm thinking about settling the bill and getting on my merry way.
Mm-hmm.
15 minutes later, a total of 45 minutes late, the date finally shows. I'm annoyed, but she walks in looking smoking hot, looking even better than her very attractive pics, and apologizes profusely, which lowers the irritation to a simmer that is quickly forgotten.
Yeah.
She did make a remark about how she had, quote, had to take time to get pretty for me. That kind of irked me, but again, smoking hot and besides that quip, actually quite charming, so I let it slide. My date orders a cocktail, I get a beer, and she downs the thing before I've even gotten a quarter of the way through my beer, and immediately orders another one, slams that down before I finish my beer. Remember, she drove to this date. Waiter does his time keep thing, looking even more annoyed, and we collectively realize not enough time to eat. So I settle the bill, and my date and I decide to go elsewhere. At this point, I'm pretty much sober. but I can see slam 'em down Cocktail Sue is in no state to drive. Turns out she parked her car about a block away, which begs the question, why did it take her so long to get there if she was parked around the corner? But whatever. Issue now is she can't drive and will 100% get a ticket if she leaves her car where it is.
Yeah.
I'm a little amused at her plight, but I offer a solution. I find a long-term park for the car, then it won't be an issue for the evening. She agrees this is sensible, but she's definitely over the limit. So I drive her car into the overnight type parking lot with a reasonable weekend rate and think crisis averted. Little did I know what would follow.
This guy's an idiot.
How quickly would you have left? You wouldn't have left. You would have stayed.
Smoking hot chick. I would be like, let's
late,
get some more drinks. Let's go back to my place.
We kick on to a few other spots around town, and by this point, the city is heaving, and we're progressively both getting drunker and drunker, but having an absolute blast. End up at a club-type spot dancing, getting handsy, and lip-locking with each other. Never had a first date quite so... How do you say that word? Raucous?
I don't know where you're at now anyway. Oh, I have no clue what that is.
You guys.
Raccoon.
You guys, I've never had a date quite so raccoon. But this woman is hilarious and good times are being had by all. Then suddenly turn. She takes a phone call. Her face visibly darkens and she's absolutely seething. Apparently it's someone she did a favor for that turned on her, and she says, this is a quote, I can be the sweetest, kindest person in the world, but if you cross me, I'll destroy you.
Hell yeah.
We're both quite drunk, but I can see this line of talk ain't leading to anything good, so I try to change the subject to no avail. She's ranting and getting more and more worked up. People start to stare, and I hold her hand and gently try to calm her down. She flips the script and yells, "Don't fucking touch me." Mind you, we'd been a hell of a lot more intimate already by then. Hand-holding, so I'm completely thrown. Time freezes as literally everyone turns to look at what must look like an abusive spouse. Me. Thankfully, she spots the look of shock horror on my face, quickly grabs my hand, apologizes, and tries to snuggle into me. I'm deafened by the alarm bells ringing in my head, and all I can think about is how to pull the pin on this date as soon as possible. I say I'm leaving, get up to walk out. She chases after me. She's now beside herself, emotional, and I say we're clearly both way too drunk and we should end the date. I offer to pay for her Uber home, and she mutters something about getting a hotel room for the night, as she needs her car first thing in the morning. I tell her that's a good idea, but that I will not be joining her in the hotel room. I'm going home. Thanks very much. She then flies into a rage and demands I help her get her car from parking garage because she's too drunk to do it. I'm like, lady, I'm just as drunk as you. No gosh darn way I'm getting behind the wheel of anything right now. Besides, you don't need your car if you Uber home or get a hotel room. She calls me every name in the book, and I walk away to call an Uber to go home, laughing to myself about my date with Satan's little helper. I receive a lot of abusive texts and attempts at emotional blackmail. How can you just leave me like this? Which I ignore. I get home, turn off my phone, and crash. Next morning, I wake up to a video message from her.
Fuck.
She went and got into her car and drove it home, y'all.
Hell yeah.
The recording was her gunning it down the highway
like a killer
while filming and taunting me.
Get some.
Sweet baby Jesus, what is wrong with you? Was all I could reply. About 6 hours later, she's blowing up my phone, apologizing, saying how she's embarrassed and ashamed. Got too drunk and isn't normally like this. I tell her she's playing with fire with that, or with what she did, and that she could have in a moment destroyed her life or worse, someone else's with her craziness. She agrees. I stop talking to her. Really hope she got help, but yeah, this is the craziest date I've ever been on.
Hey, don't drink and drive, people.
Don't drink and drive, people. That girl,
yeah.
The fact that she...
You don't do this.
Texted, or not texted him. The fact that she, video videoed him during it is insane.
Right?
Like, hey, look at me.
Don't do that stuff, everybody, because you don't want to hurt anybody. But at the same time, like that bitch is crazy, dude.
She's nuts.
Like, let's go.
She's crazy. Yeah.
I think this date probably could have been avoided a long time ago. I don't know. It's definitely a nightmare date.
Like
at first, like my reaction was just like, I don't know. What did I say at first? Just take her home.
Hot chick. You said you said hot chick. They got along. So apparently they met up. They got along. Hot chick, you said instead of having her drive, take her home.
Yeah, take her home. And then they went out for drinks. Like I say, go get more drinks and play it out.
No, and everything got worse.
And then it got worse. So imagine if you would have taken her home and she got that phone call like as her like
I don't
chilling.
want to imagine.
And then she's freaking out in his house, starts trashing shit. Oh man.
That would have been real bad.
Then this polite gentleman that wrote this whole biography would have been
he wrote a really long thing.
This is probably one of those people that write like that shit every weekend about their weekends.
The guy's great. I don't know why you're trying to be like negative.
I know, me too. It's just very descriptive.
Yeah. This isn't about him, it's about her.
Yeah. I'm sorry, everybody.
We're talking about her in this moment.
She's crazy.
Yeah.
Don't drink and drive.
But like I feel for him because like he did everything he could. Like he tried, like crisis averted. He found like a parking spot. He was trying to have a good time. He waited for her. They had, she made the joke and he tried to like just go with it. And then like even when she was like freaking out in the club, he's trying to like hold her hand and she's like, no, fucking don't touch me, Like every single thing that happened was a like
red flag.
Yeah. And he just kept like dismissing it. Do not dismiss that.
She's crazy from the get-go. Just leave.
Yeah. All right. Couple more. Ready?
Yeah.
This one's not as long. Environmental cow. 6217.
I like this person already. Let me sit up for this one.
I went on a date with a guy I met on OkCupid. We had talked for about a week. We met up at a local bar and had just opened, and we had both expressed interest in checking it out. We were there for about 20 minutes, enjoying our drinks and chatting, when this random guy comes up and sits at our table. He says hello to my date in such a way that I understand they know each other. I look between the both of them with what I was sure was a confused look, and my date says, "This is my cousin Matt. I hope you don't mind that I invited him." First dates can be weird and uncomfortable. I respond with, well, I don't mind. I just wish I would have known so that I could have brought a friend along too. They share a look and Matt orders the same drink I'm having and proceeds to tell me that he and my date go everywhere together. I made a comment about how I'm close with my cousin too. And then my date says, we've only known that we were cousins for about a couple years. Oh. We were actually dating when we found out. I brought him to a family party and my grandma recognized him as the son of her brother.
Is that Jethro?
That she hadn't seen in years. I politely commented on how interesting and awkward that must have been, while simultaneously sending an SOS to my best friend who was right down the street. His cousin Matt then proceeds to tell me how they are so close they like to share each other's significant others. I politely excused myself to the restroom and found the nearest bartender and explained the situation, who was then kind enough to let me wait in the office for my friend.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's weird. No way. They're probably going to like mug him or something. That's crazy.
Yeah, I feel like my thing is like, even if you guys are some sort of way, like, do you, whatever.
Keep doing whatever. You. Why bring other people into
That's what I was going to say. Like, if you guys are living your life how you're living it, like, do not insert anyone else into that equation.
Yeah.
Like, there's just no...
Like, I feel like that story could have been way worse. Like...
Oh, yeah.
One of the horror stories that you usually tell.
Well, we're not doing that this time.
I know. That's what I mean. Like, these are...
The amount of stories that I read...
These are lighthearted. That's why I can be an idiot and joke about them.
Yeah. It is one of those things. Like, for me, this one, it's just one of those things where, like, okay, like, go live your fucking life. Don't bring other people into it.
Yeah.
That's all.
I feel like that was a setup for him. And they meant to hurt this person.
Yeah. So weird.
rob him or whatever. But
So crazy.
that could have potentially been a scary one.
This one could have been a crazy one too.
Oh, what's this person's name?
Wait, would you like to read one?
What?
No?
Fuck yeah.
You want to read one? Okay.
I'll totally read them. Sorry, Terry. So this person, their name is Go Farther 0787. 2 years ago. All right. So they write, I could write a book with all my experiences. This little short story was probably the girl's worst date. Me just more embarrassed. Was talking with this girl for 3 weeks. Finally, date was set for Friday. We are going to have a drink and dinner. The day before we meet, she asked if we can just meet at my place, then walk to the restaurant. I asked if she was comfortable with that, and she said she had no worries at all. Okay, cool. Whatever.
Does it say okay, cool?
It says okay, cool.
I was like, are you reading?
I'm fucking dope.
This is just your own personal story.
This is long. I don't think I can read all this. She shows up a little early before our reservations. I meet her outside in the front yard. Everything was going great. Since we had time to kill, I offered to go upstairs and have a beer before we start our walk. I should also say I had potted a cutting from one of my plants. This dude's fucking awesome.
Oh, I thought you were giving up. I'm sorry.
No.
Okay, keep going.
I just like a couple letters
you
messed
feel
me
this
up.
person.
Yeah. Did you hear what I just said?
Yeah, he potted a cutting.
Yeah. Okay, anyways, I'm going to continue reading. I should also say I had potted a cutting from one of my plants that I was going to surprise her with because he's fucking badass. We are both houseplant people. She obliged. Hell yeah, they're going to do it. We go upstairs and grab a couple cold ones and chat in the kitchen. Everything is going great still. Laughs and all that. After about 30 minutes into our conversation, I noticed her eyes looking into something behind me in the living room. I could tell gears were turning in her head and her demeanor quickly changed. So naturally, I glanced back to see what it was. There it was, my unsheathed, freshly sharpened axe that I had leaned against my living room chair. I had just sharpened my camping axe and put a mirror finish on the edge while I would have fucking left while I was at work that day. This dude does this for a living. I was putting some oil on it and totally forgot to put it away in the closet. It's a 24-inch felling axe that I use in the backcountry. I quickly spin around in absolute disbelief. Slap my face emoji back at her, back to her. I apologize up and down. In a couple minutes, I put the sheath back. What the fuck? I put the sheath back on, put it back in the closet. I totally forgot it was there. For the next 10 minutes before we leave, she put distance between us and would stand on the other side of the kitchen island when we were talking. I could tell she wasn't comfortable and was trying to play it off. I suggested that we head out for the night. We get outside and start walking towards the sidewalk. We get close to her car and she turns around and says, sorry, I don't want to go on the date with you anymore. I don't blame her. Like, poor girl.
I know.
Then went on how she didn't feel comfortable around me anymore since had my axe sitting out. I told her I understand and left it there. I wasn't even going to try and save face at the time. I offered to go back upstairs so I could get the plant cutting I potted for her, and she just wanted out. Like, she didn't even want the plant. Poor girl. That was all my bad. I'm sure this poor woman thought I was a killer. I don't blame her. It is what it is. I just can't imagine she was thinking when she first... Wait. I just can't imagine what she was thinking when she first saw that while in a stranger's place. Yeah. Sorry I butchered that, everybody. Pretty crazy. No, that's crazy.
I think they got the gist of it.
Can you imagine, like, just hanging out and just be like, dude, this dude I love, freshly polished axe right there.
Yeah, I don't think that's that weird.
You know, you would totally just hang out.
Will you come state your opinion over here on the microphone? No. Okay. My brother's sitting in and listening right now, but he doesn't want to come state the opinion. Yeah. So I will say that depending on like, I feel like there would have to be some sort of like backstory. If you were dating this person, or I shouldn't not dating this person, if you're talking to this person and you see their profile, like, are they outdoorsy? Like, do you know that they go and do these kind of things or whatever? Is it something that you like, if you thought about the profile, would it make sense that he would have this, right? Also, at the same time, fucking run for the hills.
Yeah, I mean,
it doesn't need to be out. If I showed up to your house and something was out like that, I'd be like, nah, I gotta go. What? Come on the mic over there. My brother's throwing his hands up in the air, but he don't want to talk about it.
So wait, he was talking to this girl for 3 weeks. So in 3 weeks, he didn't ever mention what he liked to do. Play with fucking trees and axes. Sorry, Terry. So like, why? So why is it a surprise?
I mean, you can.
I mean, I get it. Like, yo, put that away. Cool. Like, I'm not coming back here, but let's go on our date. Like, can we leave?
So
now?
if I knew that you liked to go shooting, like that was one of your hobbies, okay, that's fine and dandy. If I show up to your apartment, do I want your gun just sitting out?
No, you don't. Of course not.
Exactly. So if I know that you like to go hiking or you like to go and do certain things, that's wonderful. I can know you like to do that, but I don't think I want to show up to an axe sitting fully polished and that you invited me randomly up. Because it wasn't like, it wasn't one of those things where the date was planned to be in the apartment. It just kind of, that was happenstance, right? And so like they just went up there because they had the little bit of time to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd be like, wait, what? Awkward.
Yeah, no, like I don't blame her, but at the same time, she should have known. It could have. I'm pretty sure he explained it 100%. Like,
well, and that's why even at the beginning of it, it says that this little short story was probably the girl's worst date. Me, I was just more embarrassed.
Yeah.
So it's like.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame
her.
Her thing. Can you imagine this? Like, holy shit, I'm about to get moited. Okay.
Hopelessly hopeful 109.
Emo.
I'll go first. I was going to say I'll go first makes me think they're all sitting in a circle talking about something. We met on Tinder and talked for a while. It was the middle of COVID, and I made sure he tested negative and quarantined. Given that COVID was so new, nothing was open at the time. So I invited him over to my place for a drink and to talk and get to know each other. He immediately gave me this weird vibe. He starts talking about his ex and he's just trashing her to no end. Then he proceeds to tell me he's been arrested twice for domestic violence against his ex. In parentheses, nope. Immediately turned off. The date is over after he says this.
Mm-hmm.
End parentheses.
In parentheses.
He then says, if I want to date him, I need to get rid of my cats. Never in a million years would I choose a man over my cats. Are you insane? I tell him I'm getting tired, trying to give him the hint to go. And he says, okay, let's go to bed. I say, no, sorry, I think you should get going. I need to be up early. He starts pushing to stay the night. I firmly tell him no, and he finally takes the hint and leaves. That was the first and last time I saw him, and our interaction was less than 30 minutes. He still texts me to this day that he misses me, and I just don't answer. He keeps trying to add me back on Snapchat and Instagram. Someone broke into my house a few months ago. Someone broke into my house a few months after that date. The creepy thing was I noticed after the fact. Nothing was stolen. I work from home, so I think the break-in happened during the night. I never found out who it was, but I have my suspicions. Someone also put maggots in my mailbox a few months after the break-in. I've since moved out of state over 300 miles away. I can't help but think I could have been on a true crime episode had I stayed in that house much longer.
Guess what, bitch? You want a true crime episode?
But not in the way that you're hoping that you don't want to be.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah.
Yikes. It's like, okay, 30 minutes, that's twisted.
This one's just crazy. I don't know.
Joel's reading you guys.
No, I'm just trying to skim over real quick. So the fact that like he automatically just brought up domestic violence within 30 minutes, it's kind of weird.
He's bragging.
He's bragging?
He's bragging.
He is bragging. Do people like that? You think like people get off on that?
No,
No.
but sociopaths.
Why would he
sociopaths get off on it? Dude,
Why
it's
would
like,
he bring it up then?
I'm good at this.
Well, he's saying that it's because that guy was a sociopath.
Yeah, well, obviously, yeah.
Yeah. That's disgusting.
No, it's crazy. It's stupid. I'm glad she's all right. Like, cool. But
I'm glad that she moved. I'm glad that she instantly was like, you know what? I'm going to nope the fuck out of here
yeah,
and not deal with any of that. Okay, maggots in a mailbox.
I don't get that. That's just weird. That's horrible. That's like some red dragon shit.
Red dragon? What's a red dragon?
The movie, Anthony Hopkins,
They breathe fire.
Harry Potter.
Next week's episode is with Weston, my brother.
You're talking about dragons?
Tell me.
Dragons! Wow!
Dragons!
Wow!
Oh, we gotta show them that.
Dragons!
Dragons.
I asked this dragon out on a date, and when I died, this is me from heaven.
Dragons! Yeah, no, this is fucking crazy. So that this person is obviously disturbed.
Yeah, that person has serious issues, but that's it. That's all I've got for you. Joel's very sad, you guys.
I am sad.
Yeah, he wants a million more stories.
I don't know. Like, I'm happy no one got hurt in all these stories. And I don't want a bad story, but I thought there was, like, going to be a more significant story.
Yeah, no, I didn't do that. As you guys could tell through this episode, I don't think that Joel was ready for any pain. Or maybe I wasn't ready for me to talk about pain or something sad or tragic. No, Joel does amazing. Anytime I talk to him about the episodes, because every single week when I prep my stuff, of course, I talk about it and it goes well. But I felt like in this time, because this wasn't something I had prepped weeks out.
No.
It was kind of, Heather was working, like I said at the beginning of the episode. So this is last minute for you guys. But I thought we do a lot of spooky stuff for Halloween season. And I'm kind of bummed that I didn't do something more scary. Like when we did that haunted house, the one that it was like the stalker. Remember when we did that live last year?
Yeah. The one I totally disappointed you guys on.
What'd you disappoint me about?
Because, like, what would you do with the letter they wrote? Throw that shit away. Fuck those people.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
like, what?
And here he is again for you guys.
Fucking dumb. If you're a
Dude.
ghost, would you write a letter? No, it wasn't even a ghost. Who was it?
Okay, you guys, my brother's sitting on the carpet near. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever watched on any of the streaming, I forget which one it was on, but The Watcher?
No, but I know the story.
So I covered that last year for Halloween. And it's trippy because anything like that, when it comes to any kind of stalking, or I guess stalking is just harassment in that form, is just terrifying. Like, I can't imagine.
Yeah.
And he's just over here like, just get over it.
So what it was?
Throw it away.
What it was these people moved into a house they just purchased, and all of a sudden there's a letter, and I forget how the letter was written, but basically it was a letter saying like, you moved into my house, and then they wrote some cryptic stuff on the letter. I'm thinking, from what I remember, is that right?
So he says the address.
Yeah.
Welcome resident of such address
Yes.
or whatever.
blah blah blah, and then some.
I can tell you.
I've been watching this house for years.
Yes.
My father and my grandfather before him watched it.
Yes.
Yeah, all that jargon. If it was me, if I would open that, I would have read the first two sentences and throw it away.
He says facts about the architecture of the inside of the
You
building.
can get that off Zillow, bro.
But it's not even that.
Zillow.
It literally talks about their family. It talks about what they're doing on the back porch. They talk about
Liam,
like
9,
exactly,
Sarah, 6.
exactly.
Like I said,
Do you see how he
read that,
dismisses
you're
it?
losing your mind.
first 2 sentences, if you don't catch my attention, whether you're going to murder me, I'm throwing it away and forget about it.
Well, change the way that you think.
And if you're going to come at me,
because
cool.
if the next piece of mail has your personal information about your family in it,
If it's not in the first 2 sentences, you're not serious.
That first piece of mail.
First 2 sentences, if it doesn't have that printed information, I'm throwing it away. And then you're just talking shit. Like, it's not even worth me reading it. It's going in the garbage.
That is what it was in the end, but it's
Garbage.
scary.
No, it's not scary. It's garbage. Like,
I'm not
you're just a
scared.
fucking weirdo. I'm not going to read it. And that's what it came down to. And I was right. Like, no. Like, if it was menacing and scary, it would literally be the first 3 words.
It was.
You're going to die.
Didn't they go to court over that?
And it would be a lot
It was
worse
a whole
afterwards.
crazy.
court with the people who sold them the house because they should have been told. They knew about the mail before.
I don't know the watcher. I don't know the story.
I
I'm talking
hate it.
shit.
See,
But if it, like I said, if I got a letter in the mail and it was some crap, like that scary letter, and if the first couple words were nothing important to me, I would throw it away. No questions asked. Garbage.
Okay, question for you. And since Weston's sitting right here too,
Love Weston.
well, Joel listened to the episode.
Oh.
Weston did not. We just last week for Halloween too, Heather covered I say for Halloween, but we're just doing a little more like spooky stuff rather than our normal stuff. But she did a stalking case, and this was a stalking in Texas. It was a mother-daughter duo that it was like they had this whole like back story where the daughter was dating her husband was this girl's ex. And so they were connected in one way or another. She wanted that girl to be out of the picture, and she started leaving things on her front porch. And she was leaving things like a picture of the girl with like witchcraft logos on it. I'm not sure exactly. She left like a rose with like red blood kind of stuff on it. I don't know if it was actually blood, but like red on it. She left a few other things like a burnt out candle, stuff like that. But the whole thing was that this girl was like super Christian, super religious. So the girl who was harassing her and stalking her and doing these things was doing witchcraft stuff. And so this mother-daughter duo got 8 years because they were in Bible Belt, Texas, and it was like this huge thing. And so it's just, I don't even remember why I'm telling you the story.
So she's asking, what would you do if someone left? What would you do if someone left like voodoo stuff on your front door, like literally on your doormat?
Oh yeah, and one of them was a fucking voodoo doll with pins in it.
Do I know who's putting it there?
No,
No.
you don't. It's just
The girl had no idea who was doing it, but it had the girl's name on it. It had a picture of her. Like she was being targeted. It wasn't random where it was just like some random thing. It actually had to do with the girl.
Step 1 cameras.
Eventually,
That
that's how they
happens
count
again.
them. Eventually,
That happens again, yeah.
I mean, like honestly, for me, the first time trash, second time trash, third time cameras. Because third time is just a nuisance.
You're kind of right, because a lot of times that people focus too much and play into how they are being tormented, they become a part of the torment.
Yeah.
And when you're like, it's like watching a horror movie and you're like, why the fuck are you going upstairs? Run outside and don't stop running.
Yeah. The neighbors are at least 200 yards away.
Doesn't matter. Just go.
Just keep going. Run.
Especially if there's other people in the house.
Fucking bitch. Run.
Lock yourself in the closet. That's a good move.
You're making me think of The Strangers, and I hate them.
Stranger, any fucking horror movie. Jeepers creepers.
but like them in the all of it. So with you
They
saying,
get scary and they're right there and I can see them. Exactly. I can kill them first. Get done now.
I got gun. Gonna go boom. You dead. A lot of booms. Boom.
That's why you keep
Dead.
an
And then
axe
just keep booming.
out on display and just ready, just
Unsheathed.
in case.
yeah, yep, and that's callback, my friend. I was gonna say when you were talking about how you would throw away one, throw away two, cameras on the third. That's where it's like how completely opposite we are, and then also how insane and messed up I am as a person.
Okay,
Because listen, someone drives by our street and I go, I've seen that car once before. They're obviously here to kill me. And then I stare at them. So it's like I instantly think the worst, and it's a problem.
She does. So
Yeah.
cameras on the third is just to find out who's doing it. To do it like
Cameras on the move-in. There is no cameras on the third. It's cameras immediately as soon as you move. No one should be without cameras.
No one gives a shit about
I
the first
saw
or
a
second.
video. Listen to me. I saw a video 2 days ago on one of the platforms. Dash cam video. Oh, you know who it is? Killer Bee Tactical. It's Michael. So Killer Bee Tactical, he posted this video of how everyone should have dash cam footage.
Yeah.
Because this girl, it made me think of Kentucky, how they have the 2 lanes on like when you're driving through Lexington or whatever. Anyways, everyone that's still here, love you. But
They're still here. Weston's here.
they're
Everyone's
still here for my brother. Okay, so in this video, they're driving, and in the camera, it doesn't seem like anything happened. It didn't seem like anyone like moved or went into another lane or anything to cause any sort of what would be like a rebuttal movement, like what's the right word?
Road rage?
Yeah, like it didn't, from what I saw in the video, it didn't show what would lead to that, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And then in the video, what you see is just a girl driving in her car. She's on the phone with her boyfriend, like through the Bluetooth audio, or on the phone with some person. I don't know who it is. Maybe it was someone they're dating on Bumble. I have no idea. This car goes right in front of them, brake checks the car.
Oh.
So the girl stops and she's like, what the heck? And then they're driving a little bit, fully freaking brakes, puts it in reverse,
You know the one you're talking about.
Yeah.
crashes into them. The 3 of them get out, go around. The dude finally sees that she has a camera.
And leave.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm just
What a
like,
fucking idiot.
dumb. So dumb. But it's
Is
like,
she
come
she's
on.
talking to her boyfriend the whole time saying how crazy it is?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, she's saying, they're
Okay, well,
talking
like-
normal. You can hear them talking normal, like nothing. And then all of a sudden he's like, what happened? She's like, I don't know. This person I got in an accident. And she doesn't say anything about it at first, like other than like, I got into an accident. He's like, are you okay? And she's like, they reversed into me.
Yeah, it's the Mexican chick walks out of the car.
No,
in front
I've
of-
seen it. I'm thinking
Yeah.
maybe she's the normal one and I'm the psychopath. But I thought her reaction was crazy because she's like
Calm.
freaking out and panicking. No, she wasn't freaking out.
Uh-huh.
She was calm enough, but she's like, oh, babe, I don't know what happened. They just reversed it. I'd be like, hell yeah, dude, gold. I got this on camera.
Yeah.
How
Oh.
stupid you look.
Bitch,
Yeah.
I got you.
Like, get out
got
of
your
the car and be
license
like,
plate.
Thanks. That was wonderful.
Yeah.
Look at this.
I think
Get
that
some.
that
Show all your
guy's
friends and
reaction.
family how stupid you are.
Yeah.
They coordinated it because like
Oh,
three
yeah.
people got out at the
Yep.
same time going,
Oh,
my neck
exactly.
hurts.
I love that we all
Oh,
saw this
fuck.
video.
Yeah. Dumb.
Ridiculous.
But they get away with it, and they probably win.
I know.
No, they
And
didn't. No, they didn't get away with it.
Well, not that time.
But that's what we're saying about the cameras. So other people do get away with it.
Right.
Because if you hit a car, you are the one that is the reliable party in that moment for the most part.
This isn't what this is about, but let me tell you this. Pick just a random friend
Okay.
of yours. Who? Name somebody.
Rena.
Rena.
Oh, Rena.
Describe your friendship with Rena.
I haven't talked to her in a really long time. I hope she's still my friend.
I
Wow.
love you, Rena.
Okay. You see a video of that on the internet surface, and it's her that's the one that reversed into it and did.
Yeah.
What do you do?
I say, wow, what a dumb idiot. What's wrong with you in this moment in your life? That's what I say to her.
Okay. That's fair enough. Maybe I'm going too far.
I would
I'm thinking,
report
I don't know
her.
if I want to know you anymore.
I would
That's
report her
crazy.
and tag
What made you
myself
do that?
and go viral.
I'm like, if that's a friend of mine, I'm like,
Sorry,
are
Rita.
you
Yeah,
crazy?
no, I'm questioning. See, my first thought is like, damn, okay, serious issues. Also, so many people are money hungry. My friend Rena wouldn't do that.
No, she would.
But so many people are money hungry and look for the ways to, even people that like light their own cars on fire, even people who like burn their own houses down for insurance claims, stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like anyone suing people for whatever reason, you know, because they know they can get the money from like a big company suing Walmart for a
Donald's
slip.
is too hot. What can you
Exactly. Exactly. So
Burned my vagina. It just
About-
poured all over it.
Exactly. That's the court case. That's what happened. This chick got like millions.
You know
I
my
had
gender.
no idea. I did not.
Because she got not third. I think she had second-degree burns
Yeah.
in the crotch.
I will say that the margaritas got Joel.
Yeah, they did. Imagine this was radio. Oh, dude, that'd be so good.
What?
Imagine if this was like radio because it's like live. Yes, no, I'm funny, but I'm dumb.
You're fun.
I'm fun.
You're fun. Fee, fi, fo, fum, fee, for fiddly, fum.
FUMB, baby.
Oh,
What?
you're all funded.
Fun. You know, FU,
Oh.
fun, dumb, DUMB, FUMB. Fum.
So bad.
Yeah.
I'm going to read the ending so that I can stop. Okay. Thank you for being here. Do you have anything else that you would like to
No.
add?
I'm good. I'm good. Nah, thank you. We can have the microphone.
He enjoyed himself, as you guys could tell. And normally I would say, like, hey, shout out where people could find you. Do you want to shout out your Instagram? Do you want 100 billion new followers?
Fuck yeah, dude. For Joel. FRIJOEL. It means bean. Fucking get it.
Fucking get it. Okay. Next week, our Halloween episode, you guys, Heather and I are diving into one of the most mind-boggling, head-scratching true crime cases there are. We are going to be going into the Black Dahlia.
Yeah.
I can't wait. I can't wait. If you made it this far, thanks for joining us on this episode. A little different. I know. Let us know if you liked it. Let me know if you liked my guest. I liked my guest.
Yeah.
Thank you, babe.
Thank you,
Anyways,
Weston.
Yeah, thank you, Weston, for showing up at the end of this as well. And thank you for making us margaritas.
Yeah. Can you get one more for the road?
One more for the minivan.
Yeah.
That's a yes.
He doesn't know this because he doesn't listen, but we will talk to you guys next week on another episode of Like Mother, Like Murder. Until then, K love you. Bye.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Just me and 6 weenies on the Friday night.
5 buns.
K love you. Bye. Do it. You're not close enough. Oh, shit.
That was good. Chewbacca.
No.
Baby Ewok's walking through the fucking
No.
house.
Leave my throat out. I have so much reading and I feel so awkward because I've never had to like read so much with
And-
someone in here.
And you're gonna be reading to me, so it's like
You better turn away, like
Nope.
in Bridesmaids. Look away. Look away. It's coming out like hot lava.